budget I signed last night builds on the historic investment we have made throughout our administration to help all Ohioans live up to their God-given potential. This budget creates a new fund. This new fund will not only support major league sports facilities, but also minor league facilities, cultural facilities, playhouses, symphonies, other concert venues.
Tonight, a major touchdown for the Browns. The team just cleared a big funding hurdle to build a new stadium in Brook Park.
This comes after Governor DeWine last night signed the state budget, pushing the project forward. And good evening. Thanks for joining us. The budget includes $600 million from the state's unclaimed funds account to help build that new stadium.
But even with this major investment, the path to breaking ground still faces legal and political battles ahead.
This is a win for taxpayers.
To mark the funding milestone, the Browns releasing new renderings of their planned $2.4 billion stadium and entertainment district in Brook Park. But the $600 million in new state money covers only a quarter of the stadium's cost. Today, Cuyahoga County leaders reaffirmed their opposition to local funding.
The prevailing sentiment here is this is a bad idea, this is a boondoggle, and the fans don't want to see him go.
The state funding plan is already facing legal fire. Former Ohio Attorney General Mark Dan is preparing a lawsuit, arguing that using Ohioans' unclaimed funds like old paychecks or forgotten savings accounts violates property rights. The new law also cuts off any Ohioans' claims in 10 years.
So there's a variety of reasons why this is a bad and unconstitutional idea. And just the idea of taking, regular people's money that's held in trust by the state to give to a billionaire to build the stadium seems pretty absurd to me.
The budget also changes the state's Modell Law to allow teams to move anywhere in the state. In a statement, Cleveland Mayor Justin Bibb said the city is deeply disappointed and that the change in law sets a troubling precedent and leaves cities like Cleveland with fewer tools to safeguard public assets. Meanwhile, in Brook Park,
it's go Browns, let's get this thing underway. We've put a lot of hard work into this project.
The Browns hope to open their new home by the 2029 season, but with major funding gaps and lawsuits looming, the road ahead could be as challenging as any Brown Sunday.
Dan's lawsuit is expected to be filed in Franklin County Court on Monday. As for the city's lawsuit against the Browns under the Modell Law, it's not clear yet how the amended law will impact it.
The new budget also moves Ohio to a flat income tax rate of 2.75%. phased in over the next 2 years. That means whether you make $50,000 or $5 million a year, you'll pay the same rate. Those making less than $26,050 a year will continue to pay nothing. Right now, Ohioans making more than $100,000 pay 3.5% annually. This year, it will drop to 3.125% and then drop to 2.75% in 2026. Republicans call it a fairer, simpler tax code, while Democrats argue it will shift the tax burden to the middle class.
The budget will also give more than $8 billion each year to K through 12 public schools. DeWine also approved a ban on cell phones in public schools, something he's supported for quite some time. That will go into effect January 1st, 2026.
Governor DeWine also issued 67 line-item vetoes before signing the budget. One of them blocked a proposal that would have required libraries to hide materials related to sexual orientation or gender identity from minors. The governor called the language too vague and said Ohio already has laws in place to protect kids from, quote, inappropriate material.
I just felt that the language simply just did not work, because it goes really to, doesn't just say book, it goes to content, and it goes to material content within any kind of book. I just don't think it works very well.
Cleveland Public Library Executive Director and CEO Felton Thomas responded to the veto tonight, saying, quote, while this is a meaningful victory for intellectual freedom, the state budget still includes significant funding cuts to Ohio's public libraries. Cleveland Public Library expects a $2 million decrease in funding over the next 2 years, end quote.
The governor also vetoed several property tax relief measures, saying they could hurt school districts. The vetoes would have eliminated certain tax levies and limited school districts' cash reserves to 40% of their budget. Instead, Governor DeWine plans to create a working group to find property tax relief that won't hurt funding for schools and essential services. Meanwhile, our partners at Signal Cleveland report some Republican lawmakers may try to overturn these vetoes. You can read more about the specifics of what's in and out of the budget on our website, WKYC.com.